Hello and welcome to episode 59 of the MotoGP 21 career mode. Today we are off to Finland in a second, but first up we need some upgrades on this bike. I did a bit of looking off camera and I've decided to go engine braking 1, even though there is only one engine brake. Pretty much I felt the bike was lacking on corner entry. I felt like the bike was running on a bit and it was putting too much load on the front, which is already a bit iffy. So this is pretty cheap. We are going to belt on. Who's our best selection? So belt on these three guys. That's 7 weeks. Throw you on. That's 5. You and you is 4 weeks. So that'll do 4 weeks from now. So I'm going to develop that. That should increase. Oh, we suspended this one though. Oh, whoa, frame. So we need to add staff back to that. So you are all busy. Bar, you're sleeping. Okay, you go back. You go back. You go back. And you go back. That's 3 weeks. So confirm that one. So there's nothing going on there. So the 2 upgrades of its electronics and frame. But anyway, let's fast forward to now. For some reason it says that when I've loaded the game that I'm 0, like nothing's happened. The race weekend is like null. So I'm going to advance next week. And it's advanced me as far as this week, which is the Kimi ring for some reason. So we're going to turn off FP3 and we're just going to go straight into qualifying. Right, you join me here in, unfortunately it's Q1. Usually if I'm in Q1 I'll basically do a lap, fly through and not show you. I don't know what I just did there to cause a big crash. But anyway, I tried braking and I just completely washed the front. That was weird. But anyway, as I was saying, if I was usually in Q1, I would just do the session 9 times out of 10, get the get a decent lap to go through, and then show you Q2. But I don't believe I'm going to make it through this session, to be brutally honest. So you are seeing my one and only flying lap in this session. I've gone for a medium rear just because the soft is too soft and spins up. But this is a tricky track at the best of times. A track I personally don't like very much. We're taking it very gingerly in the opening sector. Currently P1 is Taka Nakagami on the LCR, or the Idemitsu, sorry. With the top gear, we're half a second off alone in sector 1. I reckon we're in a bit hot. I took a lot of liberties there to get that stopped. Ooh, they're back in, just stepping out like nobody's business. So there's a drawing line, which should mean as the session goes on we get quicker. But it is so little grip here, I cannot believe. So we've actually gained a touch back in that sector. Hate this corner here. We take it so slow and the rear end just wants to come around. This kid, or this Suzuki, sorry, is just so slow, so bad. Has no grip, has no front end feeling, doesn't have a good engine. I'm just shocked at how bad this bloody bike is. And a huge moment there in the curb, spinning up once again, and that's a second off now. So unless we have an absolute amazing long sector, which we're missing the apex there by a mile. Short shifting through here. Up to the last corner we come. Oh, the front was on the move there. Wheel spin galore. Up the line, we're going to be P10. So here we are on the grid for the Finnish Grand Prix. This is going to be a tricky race. I don't like this track. Don't think the bike's very good here. Right, what can we do from the back of the grid? Let's get it. Seems to be a pretty decent launch. Forget how short the run up is to turn 1. And we should hold the inside here. Alex Marquez gets it wrong. We are stuck to the back of him. Up into the top 10 we go. This has been a brilliant start. It broke so late, we're going to go back to the inside. Actually managed to get a stop. Bastianini's down and he's taking down so many riders. And then up the inside for 4. If he sits up, we kind of force him into... Well, he didn't give way, that's his own fault. This Suzuki is just so slow in a straight line. If he just sat up there, he could have just fallen in behind me and probably passed me again into here. Takes so much time out of the eye. But we are kind of over the limit. Off track we got. That's a track limit. No, it's not. Expected a little warning there for that. Can we stick it up the inside of Martin here? We have a look, but not yet. Get superior drive out there though. Maybe hold around the outside. Leave the brakes off. We done it. Front went though into turn 9, I think it was. So now we've a bit of a gap. This has been a brilliant race so far. Don't know what is going on. P7. Fabio leading. So Miller is my championship rival at the moment. The Aussie is in P3. Now that we've a bit of clearer track, it's much easier to ride around here. I can take my own lines and not have to worry about the AI. Line we come. Right, when we've managed to catch them, it's been pretty difficult though, I will say that. I haven't just walked up to the back of them like I would have hoped. I've been setting fastest laps just to catch them. And it looks like that Zarco ahead of Marquez is pulling a gap. But we're going to try and jump the 2 of these. My front tyre is starting to feel a bit worse for wear, unfortunately. This bike is just such a handful. Unfortunately, it's so hard to be consistent on. That's Fabio, not Fabio. Oh, we've actually pushed him on the grass. That's unfortunate for Pecco. He's ended up on the grass. And it's actually another fastest lap for me. So I did about 3 in a row. I think that was my 3rd one. Can I get Mark as what we did to Rins, or not Rins, Mir. Not close enough on the no, we're not. Kind of tried it, but didn't need to. Bike is just absolutely screwed. It's just does not work here at all. Just so unsettled on all the bumps and it's being a bloody handful for this race. Now we are pulling forward though, and we are riding quite well, so I believe we will maybe get the podium if we can pip the other Suzuki to it. Track limits on it, but we don't care. We're going to stuff it up the inside here, I'd say. Like that, we just push them wide. Block pass, just like that. Job done. So 2 laps, 2 overtakes. If we can do that, we should come home in P3. Overtaking Rins on the last lap. The lack of grip I have with this bike is frightening. Superior grip, that's our 3rd limits. So coming on to the final lap now. We have 2 limits to use, so could we do the same that we did to Pecco? Bar running him onto the grass, of course. Oh, we get close to the back wheel. He's running deep though. He's running deep. We match him out of the corner. Contact. And we're just going to hold the position into 1. And we're going to close right onto the back of our manufacturer teammate. And even Miller is coming back to us. We did have a look into 3, we're not close enough. Or 4 as they call it. This bike's just so many bloody issues with this bike that I can't push really to the limit. So much later than Rins on the brakes, but we're just caught on the outside. Try and turn underneath him. Front is tucking. That looks to be the podium. Can we get Miller as well? And completely change this weekend around for us. Rins fights back. We'll have the inside though for turn 9. Looks like Fabio has the victory. Looks like Miller has tyre issues, which gives me hope. Take a lot out of him in here. Rins turns in on us, or tries to tuck up at the inside of us. We've got a good drive there on Miller on his, I think he's on softs. Having moments there. We're going to have a look in here. Can't get near him. Rins on the back of us. It's a 3-way here for P2. Don't leave the brakes off. Looks like we got to move on. We forced him wide. Can he tuck back up to the inside of us? Force him out. We need to be clean in the last corner. And that should be P2. That was one hell of a recovery ride. And a wheelie across line. Jeez, that was tough. That means Fabio's up to P2 in the championship. We only lead by 17 points now. We lost a few points to him. I think it was 18 at the start of the weekend to Jack Miller. Whew, that was rough. That was a bloody rough race. The fact I got P2 at the end of it is a mystery to me. I don't really know where that pace was. It seemed pretty quick during the race, but very inconsistent, lots of mistakes, and it was not at all comfortable. Probably felt like I was going to crash every corner. So to bring home in P2 at a track like that gives us great hope for the rest of the season. Obviously we had a poor Assen. I was expecting probably 13th, 14th around here. So P2, after starting that far back, we really fought through today. That is pretty remarkable. So we are pretty happy to be on the podium now. So it's important that we can push on from here, go to Austria and see what we can do there. Track I do like. Don't think the Suzuki will be quite strong there though, but we will give it our all anyway. Podium once again, first podium since Sachsenring, I suppose, when we won. Yeah, obviously off the podium in Assen, back on it today. So double top 10 for our Moto3 team, 9th for Hernandez, Rizal came home in P3. But that is where I am going to leave it for today's episode. I hope you have enjoyed episode 59 of the MotoGP 21 career mode. Pretty decent result, P2. Bit of a surprise result really, because it was a tricky old race. For the next episode we will have a new livery for the second half of the season to push us on to victory hopefully. But thank you all for watching. If you did like today's video, if you could drop a like down below and subscribe to see more, I'd be glad and very happy to see you in the next one. Bye bye.